Welcome to the next level teaching. Always strive to take your faith to the next level. Yes, your faith. Your faith in you, your faith in your ability, and your faith in building your faith in the Lord. This is why we do this channel. Just a reminder to just really focus on empowering the people to build a wholesome life with Christ, to build your faith so you can walk your most wholesome life with the Lord. With saying that, let's get to the business. And the business at hand today is fasting. Yes, the dreaded fasting. And just because of where we are in society and how people are so happy, I'm going to say, hey, if you're thinking about fasting, consult your doctor. I don't necessarily believe in that, but I'm just going to say it because, we're at a point in society where people are very sue happy and want to sue you for everything. And really what I believe is that's why the Bible says it's going to be hard for a rich man to get into the kingdom, because what people are willing to do for riches, for money. And you think about just the simple fact of how they are really just trying to sue people for everything, whether it be food, whether it be guns. There's just a sense of, I'm going to sue you. And for me, it's something that I've seen a lot of because I'm in the real estate industry. And now you see people in the real estate industry getting sued for things that are not even in their control and they didn't make any of the laws. But I don't want to get on a tangent. I really want to get to the business. And here's the business at hand. Fasting, like I said. And this is essential step number 6. And this is part number 7. All right, man, look, I suggest just go back and watch the other videos, because I'm giving you kind of like an all-around perspective of some essential things you might want to have in your walk as you get baptized, or as you're thinking about getting baptized, to make sure these things are sound and tight around you so you have the best chance of succeeding in this walk. Many people backslide because they don't understand what the experience is going to be when they get baptized. And when they get baptized, man, a fury breaks loose on your life like you never would believe. And people that have been baptized, they really understand this. People that haven't been baptized, they don't understand this at all. So yeah, go watch those other videos on the other key essential steps. And while you're over there, man, hey, hit the like or hit the subscribe on the button. But let's dive into the scripture today, and let's turn into Matthew chapter number 6. I'm going to Matthew chapter number 6. And then when you get there, we're going to look at verse number 16, and we're going to go all the way down to number 19. And it says, "Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But thou, when thou fast, anoint thy head, wash thy face, that thou may appear not to men to fast, but unto thy Father which is in secret, and the Father seeth in secret shall reward thee openly." So Jesus is saying this: when you fasting, don't be telling everybody. I know a lot of times, these churches, they do fasting at the beginning of the year, and that's hard because now you're giving the enemy basically your playbook, your game plan. You're telling him that, hey, you know what, the first of the year I'm going to fast, and now you're giving an opportunity for your fast, your prayer to be non-effective because you're running around telling everybody what you're going to do. The scripture says when you fast in secret. And a lot of times I know when I fast, people don't even know that I'm fasting because I don't even tell them I'm fasting. I make sure that I do proper preparation so that I don't appear to be fasting. And if it's something where they want to go out to eat, I just don't go, because now they're going to say, well, why this, why that? And then, but make sure you properly prepare for your fast. Now, of course, when it comes to your household, your husband or your wife, I mean, you got to tell them, right? Because they're in your house. Because if you're doing the cooking, now that's going to change the dynamics of the week. But just make sure when you're fasting, you do it in secret. And, there's some things that happen in fasting. One, you learn to deny your flesh, in which it makes you mentally stronger. And for people that say, well, I can't fast. Well, I'm just going to be honest with you. That might be the reason why you're overweight, because, you don't fast, you don't deny your flesh, you're always feeding your face with food or snacks. And then you, like you said, you go to the doctor and they give you some more snacks to eat on. They give you some candy. And the candy's called medicine. So just remember, like I say, I didn't write the scriptures. The Lord did. And if you have a problem with fasting, then take it to the Lord. I have no opinion about why you fast and why don't you fast. But the scripture is very plain. And as you see, there's a lot of people in the Bible, when they wanted to get the Lord's attention, yes, they prayed, they did supplications, and they fasted to show the sincerity and the urgency for their prayer to be heard. So my question to you is, are you really trying to show the Lord that you're committed, that you want your prayers answered? I mean, I don't know. That's something that you got to work out with the Lord, because you got to work out your own salvation. I'm just here to trying to equip you or empower you with everything that you need to be successful in this journey, to follow the Lord, to trust and obey to the best of your ability, not to pick and choose or cherry pick what it is that you want to do, what it is you don't want to do. And guess what? If you're not going to do it, don't do it. If you're going to do it, then be all in with it, okay? So now I want you to turn to the book of Mark. In the book of Mark, I want you to we're going to look at chapter number 9. And we're going to look at, of course, fasting. I didn't really want to make this a long video just because fasting does go along with prayer and supplication. And I did a quite long video on prayer. Some of that does touch on fasting, but I just really wanted to hit on it just to drive it home so you can understand where this comes from. So Mark chapter 9, we're going to look at verses 14 through 29. All right, here we go. And when he came to his disciples, he saw a great multitude about them, and the scribes questioning with them. And straightway all the people, when they beheld him, were greatly amazed, and running to him, saluting him. And he asked the scribes, what questions ye with them? And one of the multitude answered and said, Master, I have brought unto thee my son, which have a dumb spirit, and whosoever he have taken him, he teareth him, and he foameth, and he mashing with his teeth, and pinning away. And I spake unto the disciples that they should cast him out, and they could not. And he answered him and said, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with ye? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him unto me. And they brought him unto him, and he saw him. Straightway the spirit teareth him, and he fell on the ground, and wailing, foaming. And he asked his father, how long is it ago since this came unto him? And he said, of a child. And oftentimes, and have cast him into the fire, into the water to destroy him. But if thou canst do anything, have compassion on us and help us. Jesus said unto him, if thou canst believe, all things are possible unto him that believe. And straightway the father of the child cried out, said with tears, I believe, help thou me in my unbelief. When Jesus saw that the people came running and rebuking the foul spirit, and said, the dumb spirit and the deaf spirit, I charge thee, come out of him, and enter no more unto him. And the spirit cried, and rent him sore, and came out of him, and he was one dead, and so much that many said he was dead. And Jesus took him up by the hand, and lifted him up, and he arose. And when he came up into the house, his disciple asked him privately, why could not we cast him out? So think about that. And he said unto him, this kind can come forth but by prayer and fasting. So a lot of times you're looking for healing, and that spirit's on that person, and it's causing that person, and they're being tormented. And the Lord said, well, this one, it can only come out by prayer and fasting. So if you're not willing to fast, you might not be getting your healing, because the spirit in that person, or the spirit in you that is causing the illness, is so great that it requires some prayer and fasting at the same time. And I want you to understand this, is there's two levels to sickness. There's spiritual sickness and there's physical sickness. And a lot of times we're experiencing sickness because of what we're putting in our bodies. And the Bible tells us how to eat. And it's something, if you're going through sickness, it tells you in the scripture in James that go to the elders of the church and let them pray for you. But if you're getting prayer for sickness and you're not willing to do the things that God has deemed for you to do to be healthy, then what use is the prayer? Because you're going to continue to put the same things in your body physically, and you're going to continue to be exposed to the same thing spiritually. So what good is one's elder's prayer if you're going to continue to do the same thing? So YouTube, man, I thank you for tuning in. Man, I hope you love this video. Like I say, I didn't want to be too long with it. Just wanted to hit you the importance about fasting. And I hope that you work on building up your strength and communicating with the Lord through prayer and fasting. But until next time, y'all stay blessed.